Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. It's Attorney, where today we were doing the finale, and I know it's been 5 days, or 6 days by the time this comes out. And I know I said I wasn't going to have too much of a break, but you know, life gets in the way and I get busy, I have to do stuff. But I'm going to change the time I do the video recording, so I'm going to make sure I can pump loads out in a row. So let's go. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. You're the only one chance we have to get Gant. I'm not going to do a speech for the whole thing because it's going to be like over 50 minutes, and I want to make sure I get it all done. Although it's lost Gant for years, there's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Barshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Don't believe you. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honour, I'm confessing to a capital offence. Of course I'm sure. But Lana, if this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defence may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. I'm gonna have to press. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. Damon Gant was a respectable detective, that's why. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I actually do very strictly. Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister always became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatised that day because of that tree. That's why I couldn't forgive her. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? Yes? You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. A broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? The prosecutor marshal died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's part. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. You're lying! Yeah, she's a liar. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body. But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know it. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad. Maybe I'll just say goodbye. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was by Chief Cat's desk. If the body was found by your desk, why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. Pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my client. Okay. Pieces of the jar, you mean. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what's happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter with it? The jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. I have a feeling there is more to it than that. Anyway, I completed this fabrication completely alone. Yeah, I'm going to present the jar here. Because the jar wasn't broken, according to her. And he wouldn't have been able to write her name on it if it was already broken. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "It's that jar that shattered during the events threatened my property." Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. See, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write a message on the jar, it must not have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shuttered jar. Order. Your Honour, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Damn, she don't look happy. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discarded. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't Chief Prosecutor at the time. Very well. The defence may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing didn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defence's case. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you this to be written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I know I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. It's just like, chill it, can it, old man? I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark could kill Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in this situation? I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. But how could you see with the power? It should have been pitch black in that office. The detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes. You don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. To the bottom of this incident. No doubt this bay will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about it. Still, she's not doing this the right way. Oh, is that so? It's time to present the jar again. Miss Sky, I believe this jar contains the truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood of it. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. Oh, here we go. But couldn't the defendant have simply messed up these? I'm afraid that's unlikely. Pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. Have you forgotten, Your Honour? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written or shut in. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant at the time. He was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honour, can you answer us that? Oh wow. Even the judge has been bamboozled. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. He purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? Discovering the scene alone, the Sky believed that Sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she thought save Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped to create evidence that incriminated the crime, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet. Oh! No, I did it on my own. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Oh wow. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Laugh, maybe right after all. What do you mean, right? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But evidence was fabricated behind your back. Then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well, I'll testify about what I really saw. The witness may testify once more for the final time. You better tell the truth this time. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor sword. Emma and Doc were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. My chief can't help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor sword. You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I seem to remember getting something from her then. I was... Oh. Oh. Oh, there it is. Hey, there's a picture here. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged everything. Mr. Wright, he's come out from his vest and happy. Godfrey found his chief gun safe. What's this? Oh yeah. This got Emma's handprint. A cloth had fingerprints. Who's the fingerprints those are? Must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints, they're yours. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defence may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Oh, whoa. Oh, of course. Now, urgently. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant, what now? You want to make me out as the bad guy too? So I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Oh wow! Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. What do you mean? You still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. There's someone else. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Writer? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves you knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Oh, he's not stupid. I'm sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more, present it now. If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiry. Better think this through carefully. I'm going to save it. Just in case. Just in case. I'm not going to show it. Your Honour, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. Conclusive evidence? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest. Notice anything odd about the chest area? Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the Chief of Police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall right away. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what's really happened. What, you mean? You admit to it? Oh. I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. I knew Lana, if I made it like the blame lay with her sister. That's when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance. Of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this job. I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect to lie. To go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept 1 more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Wright, cough it up already. I know you have it. So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being chief of it. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Wright. You should have shown it then, before it was too late. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. Your Honour, I do have evidence to present now. Alright, then let's see this conclusive evidence. Okay. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at least you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honour, the prosecution requests that it be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You could not have been forged. Oh, you're as slow on that tape as ever, Wright. What? Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already knew? You know whose fingerprints are on there? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. Should pay now if Finn's proceeding was completed. Things belong to is. Okay, here we go. What? Am I? I'm sorry. Oh, you're really something, Wright. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you, you monster? This scum. You knew his fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Scott, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offence. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat's got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of what could it possibly contradict? Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this photo. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture, Miss Scargent. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. It's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured, blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth has no blood on it. There's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Scott, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the arm sword? Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they can broke on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. What you admitted only moments ago. You personally cut this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you were the actual murderer. Look at it, he's gone Goku. It's on Super Saiyan. I don't think it's over yet. No, it's not over yet. Ah. Oh, that was close, Writer. You almost had me. Sorry, but you have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Oh, here he goes. Order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Roddy. Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. Oh, did you actually think you could best report? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son. Right. I'm afraid Mr. Gadd's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright. Seems at last. It's time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Do you admit to it? That you purposely... I admit I refused to present it at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gadd. It's not that I didn't present evidence there, it's that I couldn't. What do you mean? There are certain procedures involved in presenting evidence. No, I don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct is not in violation of the law, then do so. The law book. This is my proof, Your Honour. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Scott's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth and nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in the book. Second rule of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your cell. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove its irrelevance between the cloth and the SL9 itself. You want relevance, you just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? Shown on only a few moments ago. No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, David Gadd. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. No. It was then that you proved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the Chief of Police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before the prosecuting marshal in his final moments. In other words, the real murder. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gadd. The killer was you. Wow. Oh. God damn. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. Good for nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. The evidence is transferred. Please, you gotta help me. You gotta help me, dude. Goodman turned him down, as he ordered. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. Is he going to admit he killed him? He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL. That's when I saw it, a cursed knife. Oh, he's going to admit he stabbed him, right? I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realise my fatal mistake. The bloody hand. Detective Gumshoe. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone was to start somewhere, I guess. I had no business doing any of it. Can you put the body in my car? I'm sorry I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk. What's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as if I did, if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove? Yes. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it, you and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Archie. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, David. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Archie. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright over here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. He's not even bothered. He's not even bothered being caught. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes. First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gamp betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Scar, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time Gamp helped me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. Ah, my. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now you just might make it to the top. Oh, she smiled. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Scott, and to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet you rose above it all and drive Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. He can't take a compliment. Ha! Edgeworth can't take a compliment. Seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Scott. Yes, sure. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. Trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand you. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. So yeah, it's a good ending. You know? Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Confetti. I can imagine Gumshoe just standing there with a fucking party cannon. At long last, it's finally over. Emma. Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off guilty, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not. Just now after the trial ended. Ah, smiling. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, Christ. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while I'm chewing. Just a bluff you put me out. You have to keep your feeling. Hey, lying up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? No, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd to see something. Blimey. Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Ah, well, I won't tell if you are. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago. It was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. So, I asked Ken to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realise I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by dismissing myself. I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. I did what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realise it. Emma, I'm so sorry. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course, you know, sis. I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh. Oh, look at that. You love to see happy. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is try to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find our way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on towards a better future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make it. Mr. Wright, the Gumshoe, me. Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Right, well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realise today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. In order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. Scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Kahn, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. They both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true. But think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. Because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Yeah. Evidence, huh? Something that neither of us would have been able to find out on their own. Probably the list can be other half each. That's a picture I think. I'll counter-attack the gun with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Probably would have been able to completely restore this picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. He cannot take a compliment. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened to kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know, it seems like you might face too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Oh. I better be going too. Okay, but I'll try. Seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. I will. So good to see us smile. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith in their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go tricking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? It's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she's supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me. But the faults of the prisoner are a different story. Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild tail. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who'd be footing the bill. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Isn't a shout objection. Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go. There we go. There it is, the first game. Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Oh, I went to a friend of mine in New York City. I shall be pleased to study upon a topic. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Bella. So that is the finale. Finally got around to finishing it. Good game. I like the stories to these games. They always have twists in the cases, and all the cases end up, coming together. Yeah, it's a fun. I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my halfway's investigation at the chief's office. If we penalised you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. So I'm not going to have any break. I'm going to go jump straight into the second game. I'll be going straight into the next game, which is Justice for All, or was it Trials and Tribulations? I can't remember. I think it's Justice for All, the second game. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them now. Someday I'm gonna go make the thing. Yes, sir. I can just be like Dick and Shoe. Yo, he wants to be like Dick Gumshoe. Maybe that's not such a good idea. Maybe it is. It's not all bad, is Dick Gumshoe? Oh gosh, it's the nightmare fuel Blue Badger. Oh, it's broke. Probably the best thing that could happen to that. Oh, it's what is. Can you see I'm having me a showdown with a state launch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this in on me. She seen one of the guards it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Bambina. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I'd put a new meal on the menu, the Wright way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around its sounds. Let's make sure not to eat it backwards. Okay. I won't eat it backwards. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left. Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be. Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. He forgot his gavel. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. Maya. We'll be seeing her in the second game. We're seeing her a lot in the second game. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. What's going on? It's his letter of resignation. I bet he's gone. He's no longer a prosecutor. So we will not be... I don't remember if we actually see him again in the other two games. I think we'll see him in the third game. Thanks for coming to see me off. Can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh, the letter. The picture, huh? Oh wow, look at that. Huh. What a picture. Well, there we go. And that is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney done. Finally finished it after about a month worth of playing it. Obviously, so hopefully the next one won't take, because it's only 4 episodes in the next game. So the next one is Justice for All. Then we've got Trial Tribulation, the third game. And we can choose which one to play. Okay, so thank you for watching. I will see you on the next playthrough when we will be starting Ace Attorney Justice for All. So thank you and goodbye.